On this episode of Nerds to Men, we discuss the first half of Iron Fist on Netflix. And we have new news on the DC films. All that and more on...
Welcome to this episode of Nerds to Men. I am Brad Reed. I am joined by Gog.
I had too much caffeine.
Yeah. And Cameo.
What it do?
Cameo. Everybody get a chance to watch Iron Fist so far?
Yeah.
I've watched seven of them.
I am through 10 and a half, I think.
Okay.
How many are there? 12 for the whole season? 13? Okay. No, then I got up through 11, and I think I fell asleep through the second half of it. So we're just going to talk about generally around 1 through 6, though, for those of you who are probably binge watching it over the weekend, too. It came out on St. Patrick's Day. So, first of all, so far, episodes 1 through 6 or 7 that you guys have watched, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I give it a thumbs up.
I'll give it a couple of them. I like it.
Thumbs up? All right. I give it a thumbs up.
I give it more like it.
Yeah, I might give it 1.5 thumbs up.
Yeah.
We're going to go 2.
We'll do 1.5.
Yeah. So we talked last week about the controversy, okay? This week I want to talk more about what we liked about it, okay?
Positive. I like that.
Yeah. I will address one of the controversial issues and tell you why I think they did what they did. Other than the fact that they were sticking to the source material. Mm-hmm. This Iron Fist is not the greatest Iron Fist of all the Iron Fists. And so when people are already bagging on him for some of the fight scenes aren't so great or whatever, they acknowledge throughout the series that he's not the best Iron Fist. He's still learning to be a good Iron Fist.
It's his origin story. Come on.
Right. So in that vein, I think that that's why you see some of the fight scenes not being like some of like what you might have seen in Daredevil or also I told this to Gog. I think filming some of those fight scenes at night helps out a lot because it starts off like some of them are during the day at first. And I think just filming it at night kind of helps hide some things.
Right. And yeah, I mean, also with filming fight sequences like that, doing the choreography and everything, having a lot of cuts and close-up angles is going to benefit the look and the feel of it. And, you know, especially like in the lobby scene, I think it was in the first episode.
Yeah.
It looked choreographed. It looked very
Yes, it did. It looked very...
But also, at the same time, what I noticed is he wasn't trying to hurt those guys. He was just trying to get them to stop attacking him.
Yeah. True. So I think that plays into it a little bit. This actually may be something that further out than episode 6 or 7 for you guys. But they even acknowledge it a couple times from what I've seen where they're like, you're not a very good Iron Fist.
Lots of talk.
And that might be either a Band-Aid that like maybe they filmed a few and they're like,
they went back and watched the dailies.
Yeah, let's write this in so it doesn't look like we just mucked it up.
Yeah.
Or, like I say, that might have been the plan all along that, you know, but still.
One has to have, because
you still want to see really good fight scenes, though.
Yeah, you know, my issue with the fight scenes, okay, I will say this, though. I can't remember what episode it was, but the elevator scene.
Yeah.
Actually, the hallway to the elevator scene was one of my favorite fight sequences in the whole show.
The Hatchet Gang?
Yeah. The Triads, yeah. And I think that was, you know, one of the best choreographed fight scenes since the Daredevil.
It's so derivative of Daredevil. To me.
But you know what? It's the same.
Cool, but it was like, I've seen that.
The stairwell scene in Daredevil, and also the prison scene with John Bernthal in Daredevil.
Yeah. And like the way
and Luke Cage, too, when he had that door and he was just like
that was
going
awesome.
through the hallway.
Yeah.
Those are the moments that we love about these shows. Like, that's why we keep watching them.
Yeah.
But also, I was telling a friend of mine that hasn't watched it yet, but he's a big kung fu watcher, and like I love kung fu movies. I love karate movies, and like when you see, let's say Donnie Yen for reference.
Okay,
dude is so fluid in his movements, like just the way he moves. Jackie Chan too. I mean, they're all just so fluid. He seems too stiff. Like he's like too upright when he's like, trying to like maneuver around and stuff. No, dude, he's like, get into it.
Yeah. I do think that as the episodes went on, they got better.
Oh, yeah.
So it seems like they were just trying to work really fast to get this going, maybe at first. I don't know. It did get a little better.
Is it because, weren't you saying something about the director changes?
I'm not aware of any for this one.
Okay.
Well, they were saying by the 6th episode when originally when Reza was the guy who directed that one, and that I did agree that one kind of had
some flavor to it.
Yeah, I like that one. So
it almost had like a Mortal Kombat vibe in that episode.
Yeah. It did seem video game-ish for real.
But what I will say is that like, I don't know much of Iron Fist than, you know, what I've seen in, you know, cartoons or the comics or anything like that. The thing is that his story, his origin story, that the way that Netflix is doing it, isn't boring to me.
No.
The storyline is so good.
Okay, I've been sucked into watching it, so I can't say it's boring. There are times that I was bored, though. There were times where I was like, let's get away from some of the businessy stuff, because it doesn't make sense sometimes where, like, he's a Buddhist and he's wanting to help the world, and then he's like, but you know what? I still want to make $1 billion.
But he still wants to drive that Aston Martin.
Yeah. I got to go to work today. But whatever. I mean, you know, he's a good guy. Like I say,
he's also young, though. I think he's 25.
Somewhere around there.
He was 10 years old when the plane crash happened, and then it says he comes back 15 years later. So, I mean, I remember, you know, for myself being 25, I was definitely, I think, a little bit more arrogant back then than I am now. Just a little more sure of myself. I hadn't quite been beaten down by life.
Well, and there's like a lot of questions that I'm still not sure are answered. I don't know. To me, there's a few inconsistencies in the show. I was telling this to Cameo the other day. It's still a good show. It's among all the Marvel Netflix shows, it still holds up with the other ones. It's just, to me, it's the ugliest of the Hemsworth brothers.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's still good to be a Hemsworth brother.
Or the non-celebrity Wahlberg.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a hard time getting through Jessica Jones. I don't know. Maybe that's probably not the most popular opinion to have.
I mean, it's how you enjoyed it. I did hear somebody at New World Comics today, where we were buying our comics, he was saying he liked Iron Fist better than Luke Cage, and I was like, what? But
blasphemer!
I got to channel my Ruby from Blackish. Oh, Black Jesus! Oh, Black Jesus!
At the same time, I mean, hey, to each their own. If you liked it better, I still think, to me, it's my. Even though I liked it, even though I've watched every episode, I had to watch them, I still think it's probably not. It's the Westworld Hemsworth brother. But like I say, it's still good to be a Hemsworth brother. It's still good to be a Netflix show.
I think visually, it's very well put together. A lot of the interior sequences, like the whatever suite that the dads hold up in, like, it all looks really good.
Yeah.
A lot of the cinematography and the shots that they did just are visually captivating.
The acting was good. Mm-hmm. I love the acting.
Yeah,
I even like Finn Jones when he's just being him, Danny Rand.
Yeah. And Ward.
Ward. I love Ward.
Ward is awesome.
Douchebag. Yeah.
Like what I was saying before we started all of this, I was talking to Gog, and I was like, you know, Ward is one of those characters that you love him, but he's a huge douchebag.
He is.
He knocks all the pieces off the board and then blames it on.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, Danny's acting up again."
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No, but I like him because he's a douche, but he's also kind of down to earth too. But it's like he doesn't want to be a douche. Is that he was, you know. You come to find out later on, like halfway through the season, is that he's
flawed.
Yes, yes.
But he comes off real strong and real douchebaggy to put up that front. But he's flawed
all through the whole first part until you realize, like, oh wow, he actually has a problem. He's always busting. Anytime he gets stressed, he's busting out his little container and.
Yeah, like he was groomed that way. There we go. He was groomed that way.
Oh, yeah. I thought he reminded me of, like, one of the characters from American Psycho.
Yeah.
He looks like just one of those douchebags.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed Ward. Joy, she's all right. She's good. Colleen, thought she was awesome.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hot.
Her fight sequences are,
you know what,
so much fun to watch.
Rosario Dawson has an oddie body. Like, she's like shaped like a refrigerator, dude. Like no curves or anything. Like
I can't. Rosario Dawson.
No, she's cute. Don't get me wrong. She is.
Here's the funny thing about her, though.
But she is
shaped like a refrigerator.
Like if you look at her, front on, this is her body. Like this is her body.
No,
like a 2x4.
No. In every show, she has to like tell her story every time. It's like, I bet she's tired of that.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, all my family and my friends got killed by the hand, and I lost my job, and every time.
I will gotta say this: do the hand not wash their hands? Because every time they leave prints on windows and stuff. It's just like,
I noticed that with the dad. I was like, dude,
right?
Yeah.
Did you go to the restroom just now? Did you wipe with your hand? Like, get out of here.
Okay,
that's why they're called the hands.
You don't take it literally, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
You can use toilet paper.
It's okay. We'll give you a mulligan on this one.
So, like I say, some of the controversy being that they had a white guy, and it was very, there's a lot of Asian themes. And I see the controversy now a little bit in that if I were Asian, I might think, there's all these Asian themes. How come the good guy, the savior, how come he couldn't have been Asian? But at the same time, for this story, it's a fish out of water story. Mm-hmm. So, and then this might just be bad on us, but if we see an Asian guy as Iron Fist, then we assume he's probably got like all this knowledge of martial arts and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
With the white guy, we're like, you could kind of underestimate him. And I think that's where the underlying theme of the story, too. You underestimate a lot of people in this show. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that might be kind of why they went in that direction. Because you could do a separate Iron Fist show that's not about Danny Rand. It could be because Iron Fist inhabits a lot of people.
Yeah.
But in this case, he chose Danny Rand.
Well, and as you see is that when you do watch the show, he earned this position. He earned it.
He wanted it the most, he said. Yeah. So he worked really hard.
Yeah.
Now, is he the best Iron Fist of all time? No. Not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
So that's why I think you see possibly some of the, and like I say, some of the fight scenes we might think, that's just not the best choreography. At the same time, it might be that way for a reason, just to kind of set up that this guy's not exactly the most trained, but he had the most heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like the old saying of hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Same thing like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You hear that from Confucius too?
No, I heard that from Brad Reed, the basketball coach.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where I read it, but I would always use it to motivate the players into working hard. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you guys this. Would you rather they had cast somebody who came in with a lot more knowledge of martial arts, or are you fine with what happened?
I like it the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't know Finn Jones from, anything.
In, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I knew that, but I mean, I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't.
Shame.
Shame.
That's how I tricked my girlfriend into watching this show with me. It was like, oh, it's got one of the Game of Thrones guys on it.
You guys should watch Game of Thrones.
I just wish that they knew when Daredevil came out, so
right.
3 years ago, right, or 2 or 3 years ago, Finn Jones should have been training for 2 to 3 years in martial arts to get that fluidity.
Yeah, but when did they cast him? Because, I mean, I don't think that... I mean, I see what you're saying, but did they even know they were going to do Iron Fist at that time?
Yeah, they were building up to do the Defenders.
Right. But I think that I feel like they were probably a little bit optimistically cautious and like, all right, if Daredevil does good, then we'll greenlight these. But they probably didn't cast them until a little bit later.
Okay, so let's say at least a year.
Yeah.
They knew at least at a year point that they knew Finn Jones or whoever they were going to get. It doesn't matter. Whenever they were about to start filming, they should have did their research if he knew anything about martial arts.
Right.
Or if he was just coming in, cold turkey, They should have given him classes and not just choreography.
Right.
Because you can tell that's all choreography.
Sure.
At least the stuff that's, that you can visually see his face.
Yeah, the wider shots and everything. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I think some of it's pretty cool. Like I said, I really like Colleen's fight scenes way more than...
I don't know. I don't know Colleen from anything either, but she looks more fluid than he does. Yeah, I know it's karate and kung fu, two totally different things.
Yeah.
But if she's not, trained in karate, she sure in the heck can pull it off, But if she is, you can definitely tell.
Right. Yeah, her cage match scenes were awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
I dig it. I like the show. It's a different show, too. One of the things that they were saying was this one didn't tackle hardly any, social issues. And, okay.
Doesn't have to.
Yeah, it does not have to every time. Can't we just have... And this one's more of a mystery. It's just a mystery throughout the whole show. A lot of twists and turns. But this one just has a lot more... It's a lot more subtle in the way it does things.
Yeah.
One of the things... There was an interview with Finn Jones, and he was saying that Trump becoming president may have caused some of the scrutiny and criticism,
right?
Or at least help kind of fuel that fire, just because it's a rich white man.
Yeah, there's not a lot of empathy for a billionaire white guy out there.
Yeah, and now enemy number one is that was his phrasing, is Donald Trump.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are disgusted with the current state of affairs.
I can see that.
But he also said they started filming this show well before any of the election stuff had happened.
Yeah,
so there was no way they could have known that. And
I could see how that might have a little bit of an effect. And like I say, some of these people that review these, they might not even be fans of the comic shows, comic books.
Guys that are working for the bigger publications, might not necessarily care about comic books. They're looking at it not from a comic book perspective. They're looking at it as a story, a television program.
Yeah.
Right.
And even then, the story is good. I like it.
It is a good story.
I like it too. I don't know why they're getting paid to smash this. I don't know.
Well, I was watching or listening to Fat Man on Batman and his co-host Mark. He hated it. He
really?
Does not like the show. Well, now he was saying, hate might be too strong, but he definitely...
What was he saying, though? What was he saying about it?
Weak fight scenes, weak story. It was just boring overall.
See, I have to disagree.
He had only seen 1 through 6. But I'll tell you, seeing the rest of them, if you really didn't like 1 through 6... It's not going to be that much different from them on. I'm not saying that there's no hope. I'm just saying that some things changed, and some things that even I found might not be the greatest parts of the show. It doesn't change necessarily. The story, like I say, it feels weird. It feels like there's not just this. Like in the first Daredevil, he fought the Hand some, and he fought
Fisk.
Kingpin. Yeah. He fought Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, as you said. This one feels a little weird. You're not really sure who his enemies are, but I think that's the point. It's a mystery.
Well, see, and I like how Madame Gao, how she is finally coming out of the shadows, so to speak. Even though she was in every single scene, you thought she was this, pretty old, not pretty, but she's pretty for an old lady.
Super cute.
Yeah.
But you see this little old lady with a cane. This little old lady with a cane who, is speaking Mandarin and, is having a translator this whole time and speaks fluent English.
Yeah.
But she's also a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
She just did that. One of the 5 fingers say to the face. And just said, woof.
Yeah.
I pushed him away. So, and you know what? What I kind of wonder is if at one point she was the Iron Fist.
Ooh.
Because she mentioned some stuff and that she was also part of Kunlun too.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure because I can't remember at our episode 6 cutoff because I've seen further down. So I couldn't remember if that comes out before then.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff that happens, though, that if maybe you guys don't know about that I do, so I have to be careful. To me, it's worth watching. It makes me excited to see all of these characters together.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if anybody shows up, because here's the deal. This is going to be very light spoilers, hopefully none at all, but a few times they're like, you can't do this on your own. And I'm like, well, bring in Daredevil. Bring in Luke Cage.
Oh, yeah.
Bring in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
No, and I don't think anybody's going to show up at this point from where I am anyway.
Hopefully they might come in at the end.
That's what I'm saying. Hopefully.
Like last episode. So.
Yeah, and then it'll set up the Defenders maybe.
Like,
but I don't know. I don't know if that happens.
I mean, it might not, just because they might want to save all that craziness.
Yeah.
Is there any
for the end?
Is there any talk on what the kind of story plot points are going to be for the Defenders show?
I mean, hopefully they finally take down the Hand.
Is that the idea?
I'm going to assume.
I would imagine, but I don't know. We'll have to see where we are at the end of this season, because if he defeats the Hand along with Colleen and them, I don't know. Maybe not, but
I don't really know too much. I'll have to watch. This is a suggestion to anybody listening or watching. Also, if you really are kind of not super familiar with some of these characters, but you enjoy the either movies or shows that are coming out, I would recommend on YouTube checking out Variant Comics YouTube channel, and they'll go do like a breakdown of the characters' history within the comic book world.
Oh, cool.
It'll give you, and the videos aren't more than about 5 minutes, so you can kind of get a better understanding of that character, and kind of it gives you suggestions on certain books to read and things like that too.
So what our plan is we're going to come back after we watch the rest of them and give you our full review, I guess, of the whole thing. But let's just say right now, halfway through, what's your favorite thing and least favorite thing about the 1 through 6?
Okay, favorite thing is, like I said before, I love the story. I do. Right. And it's one of those deals where, Daredevil was good, but it was like I found that story, like the beginning storyline, boring until he got his suit and all that stuff.
Okay,
I was like, yeah,
I can
yeah,
see that, yeah.
But I mean, like Luke Cage, like I love that one. Now this is like below that. I mean, I enjoy the storyline, like I said,
right,
of Iron Fist, and I don't know, like it's not boring to me.
Okay.
I know that you say that it's kind of like it loses you at times, but to me, like I don't feel that way. Like I'm drawn in because I'm like, oh snap! Mm-hmm. Like I got Ward, who I hate, but I like.
I hate him.
I got 2x4 Rosario Dawson.
No,
I was just like, oh my goodness,
I love Rosario.
No. But seriously,
he's hating Rosario. You can come talk to me.
No, but I love the storyline, and what I dislike about it or I will say it's his non-fluid motions through his fight scenes.
Okay.
I can't get jiggy with it.
But they do improve, I think. I think they did improve.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I do think it improves. There's some cool stuff that happens a little later on.
Okay.
And the way they edit it, I think maybe got a little better too. Yeah. Maybe. So, I'm going to say my favorite thing is his glowing fist. It looks pretty cool.
It does look really
on
cool.
the show.
And when he punches the door off of the insane asylum.
Yeah.
You're just like, yay.
That was pretty cool. My least favorite thing is, I think maybe just some of the business side of things. I think sometimes they get a little too carried into that. And you're like, that. I don't know how much I love that as the storyline.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like, let me cut you off real quick. It's kind of funny because I think it was episode 6 or maybe somewhere around 7. I can't remember. But it's where he's talking about his Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And he was like, because it's kind of funny because Ward was like, oh, the monastery boy is driving nice things. And it was kind of funny that they brought it out in the show.
Yeah.
But he also, Danny Rand was like, well, I did have the fastest donkey cart in Kunlun.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny.
They are very self-conscious about things. Like I said, they address things that were criticisms, and maybe they did it on purpose as they went. They're like, oh, we're noticing some holes here. Let's put a Band-Aid on it. Or it could have been that way. It could have been the idea the whole time. Yeah. All right, Gog?
Let's see. Favorite parts?
The fight scenes. No, I'm kidding.
Favorite parts, everything that he didn't like. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I thought, like I said earlier, some of the visual elements were really cool. I like the relationships between the characters, and like Cameo was saying, you don't really know who's the bad guy quite. Like, his relationship with Ward. Ward is an antagonist, and then also the dad is supposed to be an antagonist, which he's just looking out for himself, as Ward had said. I like Colleen's fight sequences in the cages. I think those are really cool, and I think, with women empowerment being a very big issue right now, it's good to see her go in there and just dominate those huge guys. And on that same topic, one of the things that I don't like is when he gets really preachy at her. Like when he starts to go into the with my blah, 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 Buddhist monk says, blah, blah, blah. I think that's kind of cheesy some of the times when he's going into the, trying to tell her. That was one of the criticisms that I read online, is that, she is very evidently of Asian descent.
Right.
But he's just sensei, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's also kind of derogatory, not derogatory, but
mansplaining. Yeah. Which I hate that word, but it happens.
Yeah.
It does happen.
It's a real thing.
I just think some people, sometimes they go nuts with.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's honestly, that's part of his character. He's, like you're saying, he's not the best Iron Fist there ever was, but in his mind at this time, it seems like he thinks that he is.
Yeah. So, he's pretty dope as a fighter. Let's just say, even though the fight scenes aren't that great, his character can kick ass.
Yeah.
He doesn't get just beat up or killed or anything.
Yeah.
So,
and so maybe it's the story is basically, not only him transitioning back into the real world, but him learning more about himself and his vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Because at this point, he said he doesn't have any doubt in his mind at all. And, perhaps that's what's going to develop, is he's going to realize, oh, I can't do this on my own.
Well, yeah, and he can't really. He's got to learn to center his chi to call upon the Iron Fist.
Yeah,
but he can't really do that if his ego is in the way. And he does seem to. There's a difference between confidence and ego.
Yeah,
right.
And I think that's kind of what the theme of this show is he's got to learn to balance the two.
Maybe that's why it's not as popular as some of the others, because he is kind of cocky, and maybe people just don't like that.
But he grew up a billionaire, so he's kind of got that built in, hey, the world's just always been easy for me, even though it hasn't been, because a lot of bad things happen to him that obviously haven't happened to poor folks like me, but you see what I'm saying.
Right.
If you still got $1 billion when you come home, it can't be too bad.
Yeah.
I learned how to have a glowing fist, and I have $1 billion.
Yeah. So bye, Mom. Bye, Dad.
Right. And I'm kind of glad that he's kind of humble too, just because, he lived in the monastery for 15 years, and he's not like Tony Stark.
Right.
This is how you should be, as a humble person, you know. But I'm still going to drive around in my Aston Martin, though.
Yeah.
Still got swagger.
I think it's enough. And like I said, along with some of the people we talked to in our chat today, not having a lot of Iron Fist knowledge coming into it, it is something I want to see more of. I wouldn't mind seeing other Iron Fists. I just think it's a cool concept, and I want to keep watching it. So overall, I think we all gave it a thumb and a half.
Yeah.
So
and you know what? Don't be hesitant to watch it. It's not. When we're talking about it, it's not like we're movie buffs or show buffs or anything like that. But it's an enjoyable show to watch. It's enjoyable.
So. Yeah.
So if you want to, if you're not a comic book fan and you are just looking for something to watch, this is a good time filler. It really is.
Oh yeah, I agree. You might not have to sit there and binge watch it like we did.
Yeah.
But watch it. It's pretty good. And like I say, it's different from the other shows. And I kind of dig it. I like that it's a little different.
Each one of the shows has their own kind of aesthetic and feel to it.
Yeah.
I read a criticism that was saying that each of the previous shows have their own feel, but they said they feel like this one's just a spinoff. I don't agree with that necessarily.
No, I don't agree with that either. I think it's a good show on its own, and I think it's a good show in the mix.
Yeah.
There's other things. There's other people that pop up. The lawyer.
Yeah. What's her name?
From the Matrix.
Yeah.
She's from the Matrix.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a new Matrix coming out.
Well, there is?
Is there?
Yep.
Nice.
That's
Matrix
cool.
project in the works. It's a prequel.
Awesome.
That nice. I'd like to see a prequel. That'd be pretty cool.
I want to see a sequel. I want to see if he really did die.
He didn't. It's The Matrix.
But he wasn't in The Matrix, though.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just talking. I'm just trying to put your mind at ease, Cameo. No. All right. So Iron Fist 1 through 6 in the books. Watch it.
Yes.
We'll talk more about it when we watch it all. What else? You got any more news this week, Dog? I want to mention this.
Some Batman news. You go ahead.
Well, since we talked last week, I found out over the week that I guess the reason that the Batman has been on again, off again with Ben Affleck was he was in rehab.
Ben?
Yeah.
Alcohol addiction.
Yeah. So, and I say, take your time. Just get better and then make the move, I
think he was doing some, character research because he played the older alcoholic Batman.
Oh yeah,
so maybe he
got
his,
too far
his preparation
into
a little too seriously. Kind of like what's his name with the Doors, Val Kilmer with the Doors movie had to go to rehab.
Well, I did notice
that movie
that him and Jennifer Garner are back together again.
Oh, maybe that's why he's in rehab.
Maybe that was part of the hey, you go to rehab.
You're kind of a douche whenever you drink. So
right.
Do that.
Yeah, and maybe they're doing family counseling too.
Maybe so. So I think for his and his family's sake, and it's kind of wiener as us to think any otherwise, though.
Yeah.
But he should take whatever time he needs to get all that straightened out, and then hopefully he can make a great Batman movie.
Yeah, let's hope.
But didn't you say that Joe Manganiello said he might not be Deathstroke?
There was he did a morning show interview talking about this, I guess Smurfs 2 or whatever. He's does a voice on that, and he's out promoting that right now. And they asked him about Batman, and he was kind of just like, well, maybe, at this point, because they're doing a complete rewrite of the script. So he potentially might not be. I hope he is. Because
me too.
He's been very excited about that. I got really excited about it. I think the casting is perfect, and Deathstroke's an awesome character.
Yeah.
That's kind of up in the air. I'm still excited about the movie regardless. I'd love to see him in there, but just the steps they're taking in the right direction have gotten me very excited about this movie again.
I hope we get to see this movie. I really do.
It's going to happen.
Now, you also have some news that was kind of like...
Yeah, and it's not necessarily surprising.
Yeah, no, not necessarily.
But it's kind of a bummer. I guess they pushed back the release date for the Aquaman movie to December 2018. So in the meantime, DC is wanting to put something out. So they're basically going to either fast track Gotham City Sirens, which the more and more I keep hearing about that, the more I don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that it's a movie about strong female characters.
Right. No.
It has to do with who's directing, who's potentially being cast in the roles, and the fact that they are now saying that they're wanting to fast track either Gotham City Sirens or Suicide Squad 2 to get that out before the Aquaman movie comes out. And so whichever one they decide to do, or both, one of the problems with the first Suicide Squad movie is that the script was written in 6 weeks, which is not enough time to write a script start to finish. So they're basically doing the same thing with this one. And, like the executives know, it doesn't matter if it's a good movie. It's going to sell.
Yeah. People will go see it.
I'm bummed.
That's what sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to go see it if it's going to be that bad. I'm going to be the one that stands up.
Well, and Megan Fox is being looked at by Poison Ivy.
Yeah. No. I hate it. I hate it already.
No.
Gog has quit the show.
She ruined Ninja Turtles.
He's resigned to his nerddom.
Oh, and let's see, there was
I don't think she ruined Ninja Turtles, but she didn't make it any better. I'll say that. I will say this. I hold out hope that these will be good movies, but if they're not, and Warner Brothers is just saying they'll come anyway, I hope they don't. I hope they stink and nobody goes to them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't hope they stink, but if they do
stink. Okay, so did you guys see Legend of Tarzan?
Yeah.
Okay, was it good?
I think I liked it.
Okay, the writer for that is in talks for writing the Suicide Squad 2 script.
It didn't get good reviews.
Yeah.
So
that was the one with the guy from True Blood, right?
I guess, I don't know.
Scars.
Yeah, but with Margot Robbie too and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah, Margot Robbie.
He's potentially in talks to do the script for Suicide Squad 2, so it won't be David Ayer. Luckily, he won't have anything to do with this movie.
And see, David Ayer, I'm not even sure if he was the problem, because you look back even further, And I didn't know this, but I guess after Suicide Squad was filmed and all that, and this might be just a little nugget I missed out on somehow, but they made the trailers, and the trailers were like, oh, this
the marketing was
dope.
yeah, their marketing plan was
the people who
brilliant.
did the trailers, I guess they were the ones they turned over all the editing to.
Oh, these people that are used to editing 2 to 3 minutes, and they're like,
they took David Ayer out of that, I guess, and so now I'm like, because I mean, like I say, David Ayer's got a great history of really good stuff that he's written.
Yeah, right. I think he just shouldn't have been allowed on the writing end of things, but
you know, maybe with a little more time, whatever. But yeah, these don't sound like they're.
And then there's either
that great.
As we know, Mel Gibson was one of the potential candidates to direct, and they have another person that they're looking at for Suicide Squad 2, which is, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Can you pronounce that for me there?
No.
Wam Colette Sarah.
I'm not even going to try.
Wam Colette Sarah. He's done a lot of action-type films, Run All Night with Liam Neeson.
Oh, okay.
He did a shark movie, so that's like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the one with Blake Lively? That one?
I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's go to the internet.
I do know that in that time frame that Aquaman was originally slated, now I guess Sony is going to put out a Venom movie.
Oh, I heard that. That would be dope.
And that would be another one that they could do rated R that could...
Yeah.
You know.
But you were saying this one still won't be connected to the MCU.
That's what I don't know for certain.
I mean, I don't know, since Sony signed their rights, or not their rights, but they're...
To Spider-Man.
Yeah, so Spider-Man is one of those... Yeah.
Shallows was the shark
Shallows,
movie.
yeah, that was...
Non-Stop. He did The River, Orphan, House of Wax... Where you get to see Paris Hilton get killed.
Hilton.
I didn't think that was a terrible movie.
No, it wasn't a bad movie.
Too bad it wasn't real.
Yeah. So he's got. I mean,
so bad.
He's got a decent track record. He's done some stupid horror films, but you know, everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah. I just don't get why it's so freaking hard to make really good comic book movies. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Putting the right people in charge.
Yeah,
that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe they need to start going with people who actually love
DC. Right. Fire all of your executives.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's hopeful. Yes, we'll just take over. No big deal.
I think we could do it.
Just go ahead and send us the check over, and we'll be ready.
Yep.
So does that mean
put my 2 weeks in?
Is there trouble for Aquaman since it got moved back?
I don't think so. I hadn't read anything.
And it could just be that's going to be such a big movie, like with CGI and stuff. They just needed a little more time.
Yeah, for post-production.
But the fact that there's still no Flash director or release, it's making me mad. Oh, it's making me mad.
Hopefully, by the time Wonder Woman is released, is it May? Does it come out in May? Oh, it don't really matter. But
soon.
Yeah. So when that, hopefully by that time, let's hope by that time, we'll have an answer for the Flash.
Jeez, we won't.
Oh, I know we won't.
We won't.
But
let's just podcast continuously until they release.
We're going on podcast strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to not leave this Facebook Live feed.
It's going to get stinky in here.
It is already getting stinky in here. So,
yeah, sorry.
I will mention this. This isn't like the nerd culture side of what we do, but I had a little bit of a sad saying goodbye to some old friends, the Workaholics, this week.
Was it the final episode?
It was the final episode. And it was awesome. This whole season, I thought they really stepped it up.
Quite a bit of it. I watched the racing one that they did.
Yeah. They did a great job. And the way that they even went out, I thought was perfect. I loved it. But I was sad because I've been a big fan of that show for a while now. And it's going to be missed because they're all very talented. I think.
Absolutely,
very funny. But they went out really, really nicely. So if you guys haven't caught up with the Workaholics, do so.
All right. And here's just another note on that. The new Matrix project is now said to be a prequel that follows a young Morpheus.
Oh, nice.
Who would be Morpheus?
They should just get him the same guy.
Donald Glover.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, though.
Steve Buscemi. It's been a while since I threw that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be interesting. Maybe we need to write down some names and
we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments.
Who do you think should play young Morpheus in the new Matrix prequel project?
Anthony Anderson.
Oh, no.
That's his son.
Yeah, well, in Blackish, yeah.
That would be that'd be interesting. I'd like to find that out too. Like who you guys think would be a good young Morpheus? Because that's some big shoes to fill. Lawrence Fishburne. I mean, if you wanted
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, he was. If you wanted, you got to get somebody who's a good actor. But if you also want to like get somebody who's kind of similar in stature, he's a bigger dude. So.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll try to get together maybe next week and keep this.
Because we'll be talking about some Iron Fist, some Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Power Rangers, because we'll have seen it by
Power
then.
Rangers.
Rangers. I wonder if they're gonna pull out an I Rangers for us.
Hopefully Bill Hader would.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so growing up, I watched the Power Rangers, but I wasn't as into it as my little brothers. I think I was a little... Y'all might be more in the range since y'all are all like 20 years younger than me.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I mean, if you weren't like 1,000 years old.
I know. So, were y'all big fans of the show?
I was. I really loved it.
Yeah.
So, what's your excitement for the movie? I mean, like through the roof?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm pretty excited.
It's not going to be. I mean, I went back recently and watched about 30-something episodes. It's on Netflix of the original Power Rangers series. And it was very formulaic. It was the same premise every single episode. It was very cheesy. But there's a charm to it. And, as a little kid, you don't have good taste when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little bit CG heavy. I'm concerned it's going to be a little bit too similar to like a Transformers movie.
It does have that kind of feel to it.
It does have that Michael Bay or lens flare.
Yeah.
The lens flare, that's J.J. Abrams.
Well, but Michael Bay does it too.
Does he?
Yeah.
Does he?
So
all the Transformer movies and the Ninja Turtle movies.
I'm excited. I'm not as excited as I have been for some of the other stuff. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I think it'll be kind of like when we went and saw Turtles 2. I think it'll be fun.
So we should be drunk when we see it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, we got to have some food, too. So, Alamo Draft House, here we come.
Yeah.
Taking a trip to Dallas.
We're not going to see it Thursday. We're going to go see it next weekend. That would be almost worth it, though.
Yeah.
Love the Alamo Draft House.
Yes. Please.
Oklahoma, get one.
Want to mention this.
Get one.
Before we go, though, I do want to mention we did get our comics today. The Iron Fist, some of these Wolverines, X-Men. We got them from New World Comics.
Go there and buy stuff.
And I want to mention a few things coming up. For them, because they're so good to us. They've got Free Comic Book Day. That's coming up May 7th.
We were there last year.
Yes.
That was the first time I went on a date with my girlfriend. It was right after that.
Oh,
so it's a special day.
Actually, it starts on May 6th at 9 a.m.
Oh, did I say? Okay, yeah, May 6th. I'm sorry. And it goes through May 7th. They will have a 24-hour sale.
Mm-hmm.
I will be there. I'm saving some of my money for that one.
We will be there, too. All of us. We should be recording a podcast probably that night. Or we're talk to them today around like 8-ish, maybe somewhere around there.
Last year, I don't know if they'll do it this year, they did the video game. Like into the wee hours, they did a video game tournament.
Yeah, the old X-Men arcade game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We will be out there some way, somehow, for that. And hopefully we'll be around for the video games. That'd be cool.
Yep.
And another thing that we will be at, including the New World Comics, they're putting on New World Comic Con 3. It is going to be huge. I was looking at the layout in the building and everything. It's going to be very nice.
Very nice.
Local comic artists, superheroes, Kid Carnival, local vendors like us.
We'll be there. I'm going to probably have some art doodles for you to buy from me.
Yeah. Get his doodles.
Give me some money.
July 29th from 10 a.m. to 7. We're a little ways out, but put it on your calendar. I'll even tell you about the tickets because they're pretty affordable. $6 for adults, $5 for kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You can't beat that.
No, you can't.
Go down to the Dallas Comic Con. It's like $50 for the day. So
I'm going to start a Twitter war with
and it's not even worth it because we're not there.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitter war with Jerry.
Yeah. Look out. Do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Come sketch me, bro.
Yeah. July 29th.
Sketch off.
We'll be there for sure.
He would destroy me.
You even sketch, bro?
I am not trained for this.
You better do a sketching montage.
Right.
Gotta need a Yeah, just like lifting my pencil.
Yeah.
Cramp.
All right, thanks for tuning in. Check us out, New World. Nerds2men.com. That's nerds with a Z, the number 2, men.com.
Also, we had just started an Instagram.
Yeah. The Nerds to Men.
The Nerds to Men.
Yeah.
There's a nice video of me demonstrating my Charles Xavier powers.
Yeah. Did you like that?
Yeah.
We got that at the last New World Comic Con.
Yeah.
I filmed that.
Yeah, we went and ate food.
Yeah, it's been on my phone since then.
Wow. I'm going to actually take off of work this time so that I don't have to leave. You guys, that was not fun.
I took off for that day, too.
I'm going to take off for that and the day after because I'm going to nerd out so hard.
Totes
my goats.
All right, we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
We out.
This has been a Nerds to Men production. Subscribe today and check them out at nerds2men.com.
Nerd down for what?